In the Deep by J. C. Greenburg. Andrew's World. Andrew Double. Andrew is 10 years old, but he's been inventing things since he was 4. Andrew's inventions usually get him into trouble, like the time he shrunk himself, his cousin Judy, and his little silver robot Thud smaller than a bee's knees with the atom sucker. But today Andrew is in the biggest trouble he's ever been in. He fooled around with his Uncle Al's underwater vehicle, the water bug. Now Andrew, Judy, and Thud are headed for the deepest, most dangerous place on Earth. Judy Double. Judy is Andrew's 13-year-old cousin. She's been on 4 safaris to Africa. But today she's going to a place where only 2 other humans have been before, Thud. The handy ultra-digital detective. Thud is a super smart robot and Andrew's best friend. When Andrew and Judy were lost on the reef, Thud saved them from tiny and deadly blue-ringed octopuses. Can Thud help Andrew and Judy save the giant squids? Uncle Al. Andrew and Judy's uncle is a top-secret scientist. He invented Thud and the water bug. Now he's finishing up a new underwater vehicle called the Seahorse so that he can rescue Andrew, Judy, and Thud. The water bug. It used to be an old Volkswagen Beetle until Uncle Al turned it into a submarine. Now it has a glass floor, a sharky fin on its roof, and a bathroom in the back. It's headed for a place where the water will press against it like tons of elephants. Is it strong enough not to be crushed? Soggy Bob Sloggins. This bad guy of the sea is building Animal Universe, the biggest theme park in the world. But Soggy Bob doesn't care about the animals. He hung a sign above the aquarium in Squid World. It says Soggy Bob's giant squidwich is coming soon. Will Andrew, Judy, and Thud find the giant squid in time to stop Soggy Bob from turning it into giant snacks? Will anyone find the giant squid? After all, no human has ever seen a giant squid alive. 1. Night Lights. 10-year-old Andrew Double was zooming through the ocean in his uncle's underwater vehicle, the water bug. All through the dark water, sparks of blue light exploded like mini fireworks. The headlights of the water bug fell on huge dish-Y shapes swooping closer and closer. Those couldn't be flying saucers, Andrew thought. We're underwater, so they'd have to be swimming saucers. Next to Andrew sat his 13-year-old cousin Judy. This morning, Andrew and Judy had been getting ready to fly home from their vacation in Hawaii. But Andrew made a little mistake. Now they were on their way to save the giant squids. The flying saucer shapes were right in front of the water bug's headlights. The shapes had giant mouths. They were wide open. Cheese Louise, said Judy. What are those things? Their mouths are big enough to swallow us, meep. Manta ray, came a squeaky voice from the front pocket of Andrew's underwater suit. It was Thud, Andrew's little silver robot and best friend. Meep. Manta ray not eat people. Just eat tiny stuff. Manta mouth like big net. Judy frowned. That's what you said right before we got swallowed by a blue whale. The manta rays tumbled around the water bug, gobbling up the mini fireworks. Jeepers creepers, said Andrew. They're eating those little lights, meep. Ocean animals with light inside, said Thud. Called bioluminescence. Oh yeah, said Andrew. Living light. Like we saw in the underwater cave. Yup, squeaked Thud. Animals use living light to find mate. Find prey. Sometimes scare predator. Like big camera flash in face. Ocean got lots of living light. Look! Thud pointed outside. The dark ocean twinkled with a zillion tiny lights. Judy leaned over and tapped the compass in the middle of the water bug's steering wheel. Hey, bug brain, she said to Andrew. Why don't you watch where we're going? The words giant squid were lit up in green letters at the top of the compass. But the compass arrow was pointing away from the words. "Oops," said Andrew. He turned the steering wheel and the arrow zinged toward the green words. Slurp. "Thank you," came the voice of the water bug. We are now back on the trail of the giant squid. Suddenly the manta rays flapped away like a flock of giant flying pancakes. Coming toward them was a fish twice as long as the water bug. The fish swam closer. Sticking out of its nose was a long, flat paddle with big teeth all along the edge. "Wowzers schnauzers," said Andrew. "It looks like a swimming chainsaw, meep." "Sawfish," said Thud. "It looks like something Soggy Bob invented to chop up the water bug," said Judy. Soggy Bob Sloggins was searching for the giant squids, too. But he didn't want to save them. He wanted to turn them into squid witches for his Animal Universe theme park. Andrew, Judy, and Thud were trying to stop him. "Meep. Sawfish not use saw to hurt Pople," said Thud. "Saw feel electricity that come from all living things. Use saw to find little crabs and fish in mud and dig them up." "Neato mosquito," said Andrew. "The sawfish has its own toolkit." Suddenly from behind the sawfish came a flashing light. It wasn't the random glimmer of sea creatures. There was a pattern, 3 short flashes, 3 long ones, then 3 short ones again. "It's a signal in Morse code," said Judy. "Mom and Dad taught me Morse code before they took me on my first African safari." "What does it mean?" asked Andrew. 3 short flashes mean S, said Judy. The long ones mean O. So the message says SOS. That's the code word for help. The sawfish began to circle the water bug. "Look," said Andrew. "There's a rope around the sawfish's tail." At the end of the rope was a huge white egg with big metal claws. The bright flashes were coming from a window at the front of the egg. 2, sinking. "It's the egg mobile," said Andrew. Through the egg's window, Andrew and Judy saw a big blue parrot. It was flapping its wings frantically. "That's Burp inside," said Judy. Burp was short for Bob's ultra-robot parrot partner. Burp belonged to Soggy Bob Sloggins. "Burp looks scared," said Judy. "Holy moly," said Andrew. "The egg mobile has big cracks in it. I think we have to rescue Burp." "But what if this is a trick?" said Judy. "What if we rescue Burp and he tries to take over the water bug?" Andrew thought for a moment. "We'll tie him up before we let him in," he said. Andrew pressed a black button on the dashboard and spoke into a microphone. "Cut the rope," he said. "Get Burp out of the egg mobile and use the rope to tie him up. Then bring Burp into the water bug, glurp." "A bad idea," said the water bug. "But if you insist." The hood of the water bug popped open. The long gray tentacles of the octotool twirled out from under the hood. One of the tentacles carried scissors. Lightning fast, it cut the rope that tied the egg mobile to the sawfish's tail. The sawfish sped away. The other tentacles yanked at the window of the egg mobile. The window was also the egg mobile's door. But the tentacles couldn't open it. 3 of the tentacles ducked back under the hood. When they came out again, they were carrying hammers. They began to bang away at the white shell. Inside the egg mobile, Burp pecked the walls with his beak. Crock! The giant egg split in 2. Burp tumbled out. The octotool tentacles grabbed Burp, tied up his feet, and towed him under the hood of the water bug. A few seconds later, 2 big parrot feet poked through the rubber flap under the water bug's steering wheel. Andrew yanked one foot and Judy tugged the other. "Awk! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you. Burp squawked from under the hood. Wait a minute, said Judy. She stopped tugging Burp's foot and made Andrew stop, too. Can we really trust you? She asked. Awk. Promise, said Burp. On my bird of honor. You'd better be telling the truth, said Judy. She grabbed a scaly leg and pulled. Muff, she groaned. I think he's stuck. Goofers, said Andrew. This isn't easy. Awk. This not easy for Burp either, squawked Burp. Burp is getting squashed down to parakeet size. 1, 2, 3. Pull, said Judy. Clink, clink, clink. With a tinkle of metal feathers, Burp burst through the flap. Burp's wing smacked Judy in the nose and poked Thud out of Andrew's pocket. You'll have to get in the back, said Judy, shoving Burp's tail feathers over the front seats. Instead of having a back seat like other cars, the water bug had a tiny bathroom and a kitchen. Burp landed between the bathroom door and the kitchen sink. Awk! Burp is grateful to you, little doubles, said Burp. Soggy Bob left the eggmobile stuck on the coral reef. Then Burp saw the sawfish. Burp used the eggmobile claws to rope him. The sawfish pulled the eggmobile off the reef. But the eggmobile hit a rock. Everything broke. No power. No steering. The claws wouldn't let go of the rope. Burp could have been stuck to the tail of that sawfish forever. Andrew looked Burp in the eye. You know we've got to find the giant squids before Soggy Bob does, he said. We can't let Soggy Bob turn them into giant squid witches. Awk! Burp will help you, said Burp. Soggy Bob is loony as a goony bird and only getting worse. Okay, said Andrew. Let's go. Judy, untie Burp's feet. Andrew pressed the gas pedal. But instead of speeding ahead, the water bug bounced up and down in the water like a pogo stick. Ker-chunk, ker-chunk, ker-chunk. Oh, said Andrew. The water bug began to zigzag down. Blurg. It sputtered and sank. The buttons and dials on the dashboard blinked. The headlights flickered. Cheese Louise, said Judy. We're losing power and sinking fast. 3, shrinking. What's going on, water bug? Andrew asked. Are you out of fuel or something, Glurp? Checking, 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 said the water bug. Do not know. Judy turned to Burp and pushed her face close to his beak. Did you do something to the water bug? She asked. Awk! Burp didn't do anything, said Burp, chewing on a broken claw. Please don't blame Burp. Thud, said Andrew, call Uncle Al, meep. Okie dokie, said Thud. Uncle Al was Andrew and Judy's uncle and a top-secret scientist. He invented Thud and the water bug. Thud pressed the big purple button in the middle of his chest. The purple button blinked 3 times. The water bug kept drifting down. Outside, animals that looked like strings of Christmas lights fluttered through the darkness. Look, said Andrew. He pointed to a red jellyfish as big as a washing machine. A long, skinny fish zipped by. Lights glowed along its side like the windows of a spaceship. A squad of umbrella-shaped squids floated up to the windshield. Wowzers, said Andrew. These guys are amazing. Up and down the arms of the squids ran dots of flashlight-bright colors blue and yellow, purple and red. Even the squids' eyes sparkled with light. Meep. Squids got living light, too, said Thud. Awk. Maybe the squids are sending a message, said Burp. Suddenly the hood of the water bug started to flash colors. It flickered sky blue, then leaf green, then pearly pink. Jumping gerbils, said Andrew. The protectum coating is going wild, glurp. Telling squids we come as friends, said the water bug. Judy's eyes narrowed. Cut the squid chat, she said. Let's get the water bug fixed. Now. Oh, right, said Andrew. He pushed buttons and turned dials. But still nothing happened. They drifted deeper and deeper. Strange new creatures prowled the night ocean. With their jagged shapes and awful mouths, they could have hatched from bad dreams. Some had fangs so long they couldn't close their mouths. One looked like a giant mouth attached to a long sock. Some looked like messy piles of seaweed with mouths in the middle. One wide-open mouth had a light inside. A tiny fish swam up to the light, and the mouth snapped it up. As the parade of creatures glided and squirmed by, Thud squeaked out their names: dragonfish, hatchetfish, gulper eel, fongtooth, ghost shark, saber-toothed viperfish. Suddenly the big purple button in the middle of Thud's chest began to blink. It popped open and a beam of purple light zoomed out. A hologram of Uncle Al appeared on the dashboard. "Hi there, guys," said Uncle Al. He was smiling, but he looked tired. His shaggy hair was even shaggier than usual. "Hi, Uncle Al," said Andrew. "Hiya, Unkai," said Thudok. "Hello, Professor Double," said Burp. "We've got a problem," said Judy. "I'm not surprised," said Uncle Al, "and it sounds like you've got Soggy Bob's parrot with you." "I hope he's not the problem." When Uncle Al visited them by hologram, he could hear them but not see them. "We had to rescue Burp," said Andrew. "He's on our side now." "The bad news," said Judy, "is that the water bug lost power and is sinking." "Grack!" came a sound from the back of the water bug. Andrew and Judy turned to see what had happened. A lightning-shaped crack ran halfway down the rear window. "The back window cracked," yelled Judy. Uncle Al's bushy eyebrows tilted up to his shaggy hair. That's because the water bug is shrinking," he said. "For melting." "Meep. Water bug more than mile deep now," said Thud. "Lots of water press against water bug. Water heavy, heavy, heavy. Like big giraffe sitting on every inch of water bug." "That's dumb," said Judy. "Giraffes are too big to fit on an inch of anything." Uncle Al interrupted her. "A big giraffe weighs about 3,000 pounds, he said. 3,000 pounds of water are pressing against every inch of the water bug. The amount of water that presses against something is called water pressure." "But don't worry about the window," said Uncle Al. "The water pressure will probably hold it in place." "Probably?" yelled Judy. "Probably is not the word you want to hear when you're more than a mile under the ocean." Uncle Al nodded. "I understand," he said. "But don't worry. I've finished the seahorse and am on my way to find you." The seahorse was a new underwater vehicle that Uncle Al had been working on. Uncle Al rubbed his chin and frowned. "I just hope you're not anywhere near a certain place." "What place is that?" asked Judy. "It's called the Challenger Deep," said Uncle Al. "It's the deepest place in the ocean, meep." 7 miles deep," said Thud. "Could bury tallest mountain there?" "Why is it so deep?" asked Andrew. "Meep. Crust of earth always movin'," said Thud. "New crust get made. Old crust go away. This is place where old crust